My SIL said I was too ugly to deserve her brother. On our anniversary, she posted a fake affair video of me that went viral in our community. My husband called me a disgrace and left with her. I found out who really made that video. Then I showed up at the family barbecue with proof, and something they didn't expect. I was never the pretty one, not in high school, not at work, not even in my own damn family. I wasn't ugly, not by any stretch, but I was plain. Functional. The kind of woman you pass on the street and never think about again. I got used to being overlooked. That's probably why, when Tyler started talking to me, I didn't trust it at first. We met at a friend's birthday in Charlotte. He was charming, smart, just enough rough around the edges to seem interesting without being a risk. And he made me feel like I mattered. Not in a fake, flattering way, he just saw me, listened, asked questions. He remembered my favorite flower after just one date. 6 months later, he told me he loved me. A year after that, we were engaged. His sister Ashley was polite at first. Too polite. She'd smile, but it never reached her eyes. At our engagement dinner, she pulled me aside in the bathroom and said, "You know, Tyler usually goes for a certain type. I guess he's trying something new." I laughed it off because I wanted to be the cool, low-maintenance future wife. I didn't want drama. I should have taken the hint right then. Ashley was obsessed with her image. Bleach blonde, heavy on the filters, constantly talking about her brand and her follower count. She worked in PR, which made sense. She was excellent at pretending. At our wedding, she wore a dress that looked like a bridal gown and gave a toast that started with, "I never thought my brother would settle down with someone like her, but I guess love surprises us all." Tyler told me she was just weird about his relationships, and that she'd come around. She never did. She found new ways to needle me every time we saw her. "Have you thought about getting veneers? That dress is really brave. I should take you shopping sometime, help you find your shape." I said nothing because I thought that's what you do with family. You let things go. You try to keep the peace. But peace was never what she wanted. Fast forward 6 years. Tyler and I weren't perfect, but we were solid, or so I thought. We didn't have kids by choice. We both worked, came home, watched dumb shows. Normal. He'd gotten quieter over the past year, but I figured it was work stress. He still kissed me goodbye every morning. Our anniversary was coming up. I booked a table at the restaurant where he proposed. I even wore the same dress, which fit a little tighter now but still made me feel pretty. I straightened my hair, did my makeup. I was nervous like I used to be in the early days. At the table, he barely looked at me. Then his phone buzzed. Over and over. He finally picked it up, stared at the screen, then got up and said, "We're leaving." I asked what was wrong. He didn't answer. When we got home, he opened his phone, shoved it in my face, and said, "Explain this." It was a video. Grainy, shot through what looked like a motel window. A woman, who looked like me from the back, was undressing with a man on a bed. They kissed. It wasn't clear, but it was suggestive enough. The title said, "Local woman cheats while husband's at work, Charlotte motel footage." My stomach dropped. I said, "That's not me." He didn't care. "I can't believe you do this," he said. "You're a disgrace." I didn't. "Tyler, look at it. It's your hair. That's your dress." "It's not. That's not my body. That's not how I move." "You really think I'd cheat? You think I'd be dumb enough to do it in town, in a place with cameras?" He just shook his head and said, "Ashley told me something like this might happen." I should have believed her. And then he walked out, took a bag, slammed the door. I sat there in my dress, makeup smeared, while a fake sex tape of me racked up views online. The video was already viral. People I barely knew were tagging each other in the comments. My job called the next day and said they were reviewing my employment. Neighbors looked away when I passed. I had never felt so humiliated in my life. I cried for days. Couldn't eat. Couldn't sleep. I almost gave up. But something about that video didn't sit right. The woman's movements were stiff. The lighting was too perfect. It didn't feel real. And then I remembered Ashley's smug little smile every time she warned Tyler about me. I started digging. I found the motel from the video by reverse searching a painting on the wall. Went there, talked to the manager. He let me look through check-in records. I never stayed there, but someone named Mel had. I remembered her, Ashley's college roommate, used to crash at their house all the time. I looked up Mel's name, found her old LinkedIn. She used to work at a local video editing studio. I went there, posed as a client. I said I needed help with a viral campaign and asked if they'd ever done staged scandal content. The guy at the desk, young, dumb, full of pride, laughed and said, "Oh yeah, we did one for some chick and her friend last month. She wanted to frame her brother's wife for cheating or something. Paid cash." I asked who. He said, "Blonde girl, kind of fake? Her name started with an A, I think." I got it all recorded on my phone. I took that to a digital forensics expert. He reviewed the video and confirmed several anomalies, metadata that had been altered, timestamp inconsistencies, and clear signs of manipulation. I also got motel footage showing Mel entering the room with a woman in a wig, carrying a camera. The angles matched the viral video. I wasn't just going to defend myself, I was going to make them pay. But not yet. The family barbecue was 2 months later. I wasn't invited, of course. But I showed up anyway, right as they were grilling and laughing and playing cornhole in the backyard. I had a USB stick and a manila folder, and I was done staying quiet. The moment I stepped into that backyard, the energy shifted. Conversations stopped mid-sentence. You could hear the grill hissing and the clack of beanbags hitting the ground. Tyler's dad stood with a beer halfway to his mouth. Ashley froze mid-laugh, sunglasses pushed up on her head like some suburban queen bee. I walked in slow, deliberate. I wasn't dressed for drama, just jeans and a clean shirt, but I carried myself like I was armed. And in a way, I was. Tyler's mom was the first to break the silence. "You weren't invited." "I'm aware," I said. "But I have something to show you." I walked straight to the outdoor TV they'd been using for slideshows, vacation photos, baby pictures, whatever facade they wanted to maintain. I plugged in my USB stick. The screen went black for a second, then up popped the title, "The Truth Behind the Lie." The first clip played, the digital forensics guy breaking down the fake video. Then the motel footage of Mel and the woman in the wig entering the room with a camera bag. Next was the audio from the video editor laughing about how some blonde chick paid him cash to stage it. Ashley shouted, "Turn that off." Tyler looked like he'd been slapped. I turned to them both. "This is what you destroyed our marriage over. This is who you believed." Ashley lunged toward the TV to yank the USB, but I held up the folder. "Go ahead. But this is the legal evidence. This is what's going to court." That stopped her cold. Tyler finally spoke. "What the hell is this?" "You really want to ask that now?" I said. "You left me without even hearing me out. You believed your sister. The same sister who's hated me since day one." Ashley screamed, "Because you're a fraud. You tricked him into marrying you." That lit the fuse. I turned to her. "You've always hated me because I didn't look like your influencer friends. Because I didn't kiss your ass. Because I didn't fit the fantasy you had for your brother's life. So you made a fake video, staged a sex tape, and sent it to him on our anniversary." She went quiet. The kind of quiet that comes when there's nothing left to lie about. Tyler looked down. "Ashley, did you really?" She shook her head like a child caught with her hand in the cookie jar. "I did it for you. She's not right for you. She embarrasses you." His face changed then. Not anger. Not sadness. Just shame. Deep, bone-deep shame. His dad stepped forward. "Is this true?" No answer. Just silence. Then his mother, cold as ever, said, "I think you should leave." I turned to her. "You let her treat me like dirt for years. You never once stood up for me. Maybe look at what that's brought you." And then I left. But not before dropping the final card. I filed a defamation suit against Ashley that week. Served her at her office. Word spread fast. Faster than the fake video ever had. I got messages from people who once ignored me, apologizing. Some admitted they knew something felt off. But the real blow didn't come for me. It came from inside her precious social circle. Screenshots leaked. A mutual friend posted side-by-sides of the woman in the video versus real footage of me, showing the differences. Someone else leaked the editor's statement. Her reputation unraveled in days. She lost her PR clients. Brands dropped her. Her followers started calling her a dangerous narcissist. Her fiancé, who I didn't even know she had, left her within a week. Tyler tried reaching out. First texts, then voicemails. I didn't know. I made a mistake. Please talk to me. I didn't answer. But I wasn't done yet. Because there was still one person left who needed to understand exactly what they'd thrown away. About 3 weeks after the barbecue, I got a call from a blocked number. I usually let those go to voicemail, but something in me said to pick it up.
Hey.
It's Melissa.
Mel.
I didn't say anything. Look, I know you probably hate me. You should. But I didn't know what Ashley was going to do with the video. She told me it was for a prank. Said it was for a content stunt. I swear, I didn't know it would go public. I didn't respond. Then she added, but I have proof. Messages. Recordings. You want them? That got my attention. Mel met me at a Panera off I-77. She looked rough, hair unwashed, eyes bloodshot. She slid over a flash drive. She made me delete stuff, but I backed it all up before. Inside were texts from Ashley. Exact instructions on how to stage the scene, what clothes to wear, what time to shoot, and most damning. Once this leaks, that fat cow will be history. My brother deserves better. That one hit like a punch to the gut, but it was also the key. I handed the flash drive to my lawyer, who said it changed everything. It took the case from civil defamation to potential criminal territory. This is targeted reputation destruction, he said. Intentional, documented, and malicious. But that wasn't the only twist. A week later, I got a knock on my apartment door. It was Tyler. He looked like hell, skin dull, eyes sunken, thinner than I remembered. He held a manila envelope. I want to talk, he said. I let him in, not out of kindness, but curiosity. He sat on the edge of my couch like a kid in trouble. She admitted everything. She confessed to our parents. I didn't know she was capable of that. I thought she just didn't like you. I didn't think she'd destroy you. I said nothing. I went through the comments on the video. All the messages you probably got. I can't imagine what that felt like. And I wasn't there. I didn't even ask for your side. I finally asked, why did you believe her so easily? He hesitated. Because deep down, I think part of me still believed I didn't deserve you. That I got lucky. And when she said you were faking it, some stupid part of me latched onto that. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just stared at him. Because in that moment, I knew something I hadn't let myself feel before. I was done loving him. He handed me the envelope. Inside were photos of Ashley and her fiancé months ago. Hooking up with one of his exes.
Cheating.
Hypocrisy in full form. She blackmailed him to keep him from going public, Tyler said. He told me everything after he left her. I raised an eyebrow. Why are you telling me this? He looked at me, shame written all over his face. Because I want you to win. I stared at him for a long moment, then asked the one question that mattered. And what makes you think I haven't already? He left without saying another word. And I started planning my final move. I had everything I needed. The evidence. The statements. The motive. But more than that, I had the truth. And after everything Ashley had done, I wasn't just going to clear my name. I was going to make sure she never forgot what she did. The defamation lawsuit was just the beginning. My lawyer filed an amended claim, intentional infliction of emotional distress, digital impersonation, and reputational sabotage. With the texts and recordings from Mel, plus Tyler's photos and testimony from her ex-fiancé, it was airtight. Ashley was served, again, this time at home. I made sure the papers arrived in front of her neighbors. The same neighbors she used to brag to about her job, her clothes, her perfect family. One of them filmed it and posted it. That video went viral too. Karma's not always subtle. When we went to court, she tried to play the victim. Said she wasn't thinking straight, blamed her mental health, cried in front of the judge. Her lawyer begged for a settlement, but I refused. I took the stand. I told the judge what it was like to lose everything, to be shamed, harassed, abandoned, and humiliated based on a lie. I showed the screenshots of strangers calling me a whore. I played the audio of the video editor laughing about the setup. I read Ashley's words aloud. That fat cow will be history. The courtroom was silent. The judge ruled in my favor. She was ordered to pay damages, more than she could afford. The ruling also forced a public apology posted on every platform the fake video had been shared on. But that wasn't the part that satisfied me the most. What satisfied me was showing up to the next family gathering, this time invited. Tyler's mother apologized. Not warmly, but genuinely. His father pulled me aside and said, "You didn't deserve any of this. We failed you." I said, "Yes,
You did.
Ashley didn't show. Couldn't. She'd lost her job, most of her friends, and her online following. Brands she worked with issued statements cutting ties. Her name became a local cautionary tale. Tyler asked to meet again. We sat in the same restaurant where we had our last anniversary dinner, the one she ruined. He looked tired, smaller somehow. He said he still loved me, that he wanted to start over. No more Ashley. No more doubts. Just us. I looked him in the eye and said, "You buried me the moment things got hard. You listened to the one person who hated me most. You didn't even ask me if it was true."
He tried to speak.
"I don't hate you," I said. "But I'm not yours anymore. I survived what you did. And I'm better without you." I walked out before dessert. Now I live in Asheville, a few hours away. I got a new job. A quiet apartment.
Peace.
Sometimes people still recognize me. "Aren't you the woman from that court case?" They ask. And I say, "No. I'm the woman who was framed, fought back, and won." Ashley taught me something. Revenge doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it's just the sound of your own heels walking away while the people who tried to destroy you choke on the truth. Life after the court ruling wasn't glamorous. I didn't feel triumphant every day. There were still mornings I woke up and thought about how easily my husband gave up on me. How my character was torn apart in public like I was nothing. But I didn't let it define me. The money from the lawsuit didn't make me rich, but it gave me breathing room. I used some of it to pay for therapy. Real therapy, not the kind where they hand you a pamphlet and tell you to breathe. I needed help unpacking what it meant to be betrayed by someone you loved for over a decade. And by the family you tried so hard to win over. One session, my therapist asked me if I still missed him. "No," I said. "I missed the version of me who thought he'd protect me." Ashley tried to appeal the case.
Failed.
Her name was officially tied to one of the most disgraceful acts of online character defamation in our county's history. She started going by her middle name online and changed her hair again. But people knew. Every time she tried to rebrand or start over, someone would comment, "Isn't this the girl who faked a sex tape of her sister-in-law?" Her reputation was done. Tyler sent one last letter.
Handwritten.
He said he was moving to Denver for a fresh start, that he hoped I'd find peace, that he regretted everything, but especially walking out without even letting you speak. I didn't reply. Forgiveness doesn't always come with a conversation. Sometimes it's just letting someone disappear without dragging them back into your life. I moved on. I started dating again. Nothing serious, just light dinners, quiet conversations. I didn't want another man to rescue me. I had done that myself. One day, I ran into Mel at a grocery store in Asheville. She looked healthier.
Cleaner.
She thanked me for not dragging her into court, for not destroying her when I had the chance. I said, "You are weak, not evil. That's the difference." She cried a little.
So did I.
And then we both went back to our carts. Sometimes I drive past the hotel where the fake video was filmed. It's just a sad little building with a faded sign now. But it reminds me of everything I've survived. What they did to me would have broken a lot of people. But I'm still here. And every single one of them has to live with the fact that I didn't just survive it, I made sure the whole damn world saw exactly what they did. It's been a full year since the barbecue. I stood in front of the mirror this morning and barely recognized the woman looking back. Not because I've changed how I look, though I've grown into myself in a way I never expected. It's something else. There's a stillness now, a quiet strength in my face. I used to flinch at my own reflection, waiting to see what others might judge. Now I don't care. Tyler's parents send me a Christmas card now. Every year. Like that makes up for everything. It doesn't, but I don't throw it out. I keep it as a reminder of how far I've come. Ashley hasn't recovered. Her name is still whispered with contempt in local business circles. I heard she tried to move to Atlanta, but people there Googled her and refused to hire her. That's the thing about internet poison. You can't clean it off once it sticks to your own hands. As for Tyler, I don't know what he's doing in Denver, and I don't care. Sometimes I wonder if he sits alone, wondering how he lost everything just because he believed a lie over the woman who stood by him. But mostly, I just don't think about him. My revenge wasn't about ruining their lives. It was about reclaiming mine. And I did.